You didn't notice it happen. But sometime in the last hour, you started copying someone. The way they sat, the words they reached for, the small rise and fall in how they breathed when they spoke. You think you move through the world as one fixed person. But the real answer is far stranger. You are not one person. You are a mirror with a heartbeat. Think back to your last real conversation. Someone leaned back, and a moment later, so did you. They touched their face, and your own hand drifted upward. They used a phrase you never say, and by the end of the night it had fallen out of your own mouth. You didn't decide any of it. Your body did it for you, quietly, while your attention was somewhere else. Did you feel it happening? Almost certainly not. This has a name. In 1999, two psychologists at New York University, Tanya Chartrand and John Bargh, called it the chameleon effect. They brought strangers into a room to describe photographs with a partner who secretly worked for them. Sometimes that partner rubbed their face. Sometimes they shook a foot beneath the table. And almost every time, the real participant began doing the very same thing, mirroring someone they had met only minutes before, with no reward and no instruction. Afterward, almost no one had noticed. So why would your body copy a stranger, all on its own? To answer that, you have to go back further than any laboratory, back to a time before words existed, when your ancestors' lives depended on reading another body faster than thought. Picture one of them at the edge of a clearing. When the person beside him tenses, his own muscles tighten in the same instant. When their eyes snap toward the trees, his eyes follow. He does not wait to be told there is danger. He becomes the fear of the body next to him, and that copying is what keeps him alive. The group that flinched together survived together, and that nervous system lived long enough to become yours. For a long time, no one knew how this worked inside the brain. Then, in the early 1990s, a team in Parma, Italy, led by a neuroscientist named Giacomo Rizzolatti, found it almost by accident. They were tracking single cells in the brains of monkeys, cells that fired whenever a monkey grabbed food. But one day, a cell fired when the monkey merely watched a researcher grab a peanut. The brain was not separating doing from seeing. It was treating another creature's action as its own. They called these mirror neurons, and they reshaped how scientists understood you. When you watch someone move, part of your brain quietly runs the same movement in the dark. When you see someone stub their toe, you wince. When you watch someone yawn, your own jaw begins to ache to open. You are not just observing other people. On a level beneath your awareness, you are performing them. And it isn't only movement that spreads. Emotions travel the same way. A psychologist named Elaine Hatfield spent years studying what she called emotional contagion. And her finding was unsettlingly simple. Feelings are catching, the way a cough is catching. Sit beside someone anxious, and your shoulders creep upward and your breath turns shallow. Sit beside someone calm, and your racing heart slows to match theirs. You walk into a tense room and feel it before a single word is spoken. You thought you were reading the mood. You were catching it. But here is where the mirror turns, because you don't only copy the people you love, you copy whoever you spend your time near, their speech, their posture, their habits, their appetites. Spend a week around a certain accent and you will hear it bend your own voice. Over months and years, you drift toward the quiet average of the people closest to you. The friends who complain shape you into someone who complains. The friends who build shape you into someone who builds. You are catching them exactly the way your ancestor caught fear at the edge of that clearing. This is the reframe. You have spent your life believing you are a single, solid, finished self, choosing your own way from the inside. But you are far more porous than that. You are a membrane, and everyone who spends real time near you is leaving a mark you cannot feel being made. So the oldest survival tool in your body has quietly become a decision you never knew you were making. The question is no longer whether you copy other people. The question is who you are letting yourself copy. Look at the people you spend the most hours beside, their calm or their panic, their generosity or their bitterness, their curiosity or their contempt is seeping into you right now, through a channel you were never given any way to switch off. You are becoming them, whether you ever agreed to it or not. So choose your mirrors with care. Sit close to the ones whose way of being you would be proud to wake up wearing, because your body has already made its ancient choice. It decided, millions of years ago, that the safest thing a person could be was a reflection of the people around them. You didn't notice it happen, and you still won't, but now you know whose reflection you are becoming.